Sing to the rock, sing to the tree, sing to the firefly lighting up the sky. Sing, sing to the sea.
Hello, I'm Mary Whelan, and this is the song Voices of Dissent. And today I am very pleased to present Piper Pichette.
So that piece was The Abandoned Workhouse, in other words, in the town of Holyoke. I wrote that a number of years ago, and it demonstrates a form of activism in consideration of historic preservation and renovation of original buildings. And so you will lose the character of a place with demolishing and building brand new architecture that doesn't fit with the surrounding details. And so I wrote this song after going on a school field trip, actually, in high school. And I was inspired by seeing an abandoned house, abandoned building, and I tried to imagine a story. So, The Abandoned Workhouse. So this next piece reflects a place-based song of protest. This Land Is Your Land is an example of place-based. It became a protest song for America. And place-based songs focus people on respect and love for a place or an object of interest. So my place-based song focuses on a tiny island that I came to love over 22 years of visits. It is protected by environmental laws and a coral reef preservation. And yet I've seen the fight over the years to continue against destructive construction and destructive fishing for tourism effects, and that threaten the environment. So this is Island Home.
Oh, Piper, that was really very beautiful music.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and I love hop music, and but how do you? It doesn't seem like something that people would normally do in terms of activist music. People would be thinking of instruments with far strings than a hop.
Yeah, it's a very interesting thing. I mean, I have lately been really into using the harp as activism, especially when it's a smaller harp, because playing the lever harp, you've got so many different varieties of sizes. Mm-hmm. I have one 22 string that's only about this big, and I just got it strapped up to my back, and so I can walk around.
So you could bring that to a protest a whole lot easier than that.
I can bring it to a protest, and so it would be really easy travel on there. So
and I know you have played, I guess, especially at anti-pipeline events.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, I've got a couple of one video of a live protest with my sister and I that we performed in that. Yeah, that was. I believe that was in. I can't think of the.
Was that in Cummington?
Location. Yes.
With the singing bridge.
That's it. Yeah, singing bridge. Yes. Yeah. Wonderful, beautiful setting.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And so it's very perfect place for a down to earth. Lovers of the earth and valuing the all life protest to fight for survival. So it's really great.
Yeah. Now, one of the songs I know that you did there is one that you called "They Fracked Paradise."
Yes.
Okay, and you can't do it. You
I
couldn't do it here today because it's not really your song, and this is about original music. It's kind of a parody. I like to call it an homage, really, because I was inspired by Joni Mitchell, and so her song, and we took the music and I wrote the lyrics. There are some lyrics that were still homage to her, and so it's really recognizable, and so of course still can't perform it. Yeah. But I wrote it purely to express to spread the word about this fight going on, because at the time it was just local stuff, these local people that like not a lot of people may have known about it, and so I wrote that purely to spread the word about what was going on and what is really happening.
Yeah.
And so I got some friends together and we recorded it in 2015. And we named our group Dogs at the Door. And the title actually came from one of our recording sessions, and our video recorder has some dogs, and so we heard them outside. And
so that's where the name
came. Like Dogs at the Door. I can't remember who actually said it first, but it just caught there. And so we called ourselves Dogs at the Door.
Oh, cool.
And yes, the song is called "They Fracked Paradise."
Yeah, and that's on YouTube.
Yeah, we're on YouTube.
There's actually there's one doing it live in Cummington.
One of us my sister and I doing it live. And the other is our video that we recorded in the studio, and then we filmed ourselves in the area and around in all the towns that would be affected by the pipeline. So Deerfield, which is my area, the pipeline was originally going to go right back through my backyard and my neighbor's orchard. So Deerfield, Greenfield, Sunderland, and South Deerfield, and North. There's a long variety of things. And so we just traveled along in the area and filming places that are familiar, including in Sunderland here, we filmed ourselves hugging the constitutional tree. So yes, valuing the life that we have in the area. So
yeah, great.
Because this is what we love. There's a beauty, a rare beauty in New England right here, and so when it's at risk, we really have to fight to protect it.
Yeah. And now, of course, people can't hear it today on the show, but they can go on YouTube and listen to it as many times as they want.
Yeah, They Fracked Paradise, and if you're on YouTube and you find our subscription Dogs at the Door, you'll be able to get both images right on our channel.
And I found it a really kind of very creative, ingenious thing to do, to really take a song that a lot of people would be familiar with. It's a very famous song, and then update it in a way and make it very, very relevant to today.
And like popular tunes like that song really touch people when they're familiar with it enough that they can sing it really easily.
Yeah, they can sing it along with you easily.
They can sing along with you. It's really powerful.
So,
in that case, like when they're trying to hear the lyrics, they already know the melody, so they can follow along. They just have to focus on what the words are.
That's great.
But
so that was a wonderful idea.
Yeah. Can't do it.
We can't do it here.
But it's out there. It's out there. So like us, please. And it's important too, because it continues to fight for the continued construction, because there's pipelines still going on. There's issues that are still going on, and the TGP pipeline is what I was talking about. That has been tabled. We won, but they said that they had tabled it for later. So it's still out there, and so it's constantly the trees are still at risk. The whole Pecumtuck Ridge right there is still at risk with this, and so just being aware that it doesn't end right away. It's nothing is gone forever. It comes back all the time, and
you have to keep fighting.
Keep fighting. That's what it's all about.
Keep keeping on.
Keep fighting for what you love. And life, this area, that's what I love.
So now, in addition to playing music at activist kind of events and protests and whatever, you also, you teach hop. You have all sorts of gigs where where people might expect a harp more than they do at a protest.
Yes,
I think people must be really surprised when they
very well.
see you with a harp at a protest.
Certainly,
And but it's really cool that you do it.
It is.
But I know that you've played. You want to talk about some of the places that you've performed at?
Well, I've had a number of years with now no longer Chandler's Restaurant by Yankee Candle. That I was there for a number of years doing their high teas.
Yeah, I had just really discovered it not long before it closed, and I was wow, that's too bad, because that was a good restaurant.
Yeah, it was. I was.
But you were playing at Teas, right?
Yeah, I was playing for their teas. I think it was almost 10 years. Actually,
wow.
But still too short. but I'm still on other gigs. I'm still doing through them. I connected to the Lord Jeffrey Inn in Amherst, and so I'm playing for their holiday teas coming up actually through the December.
Great.
So
now, how young were you when you started doing gigs? Because I mean, people might think, 10 years she was playing there. God, they might think that you started at 12.
Yeah.
So
I started at 12. I started harp at 12, and right away I was doing gigs.
Wow.
Right away. I remember one of my first gigs was a wedding that was an Asian Indian wedding.
Wow.
And so I vibrantly remember their saris and their many different colors, yellow, orange, red, all the vibrant colors, and all I had to play was green sleeves. But they liked it. They used that. It was just the harp really got them. And so then,
wow.
Yeah. So it's one of those events that'll always be in my brain, because with playing the harp, I get into weddings of so many different cultures. From that to one of my recents was a Greek Orthodox wedding, and so I got to witness their traditions, and so and I love that. I love being able to experience that, because of us as a country, we're so diverse, and our diverse traditions interlocking. It's what makes us America, and so I love discovering all the time all those differences.
Now, I noticed you have a Facebook page,
yes,
and that's under
the Pied Harpist.
The Pied Harpist.
Piper the Pied Harpist.
Piper the Pied Harpist, and. It's too bad you didn't play flute.
Somebody did ask me, why didn't you play flute? It's it was so much easier. And that's usually when I'm bearing my largest harp, on wheels, out the ramp.
But you want to talk a little bit about your influence?
Yeah, when in response to how many genres you can play on a harp, I'd answer that with how many genres can you play on a piano? Because when you open up a piano, especially grand piano, inside is the harp. That's what the strings are called. They're actually called the harp, and because the first piano is the harpsichord. It came from the harp. A harp is one of the oldest, probably the oldest chordal instrument in history. And so it's, I approached the harp from the Celtic perspective. And so a lot of my influences was Enya. And so, and her music and Celtic
I really like her
heritage
music a lot.
Yeah, she's wonderful. She's so inspiring. And other of my influences in that genre, especially with the harp, is Patrick Ball, who I recently had the privilege of meeting.
Oh, cool!
and he's been around inspiring me since I was a little kid. Before I knew I wanted to play the harp, when I knew music, it was one of those CDs that were playing in the background of my daily life and things like that. And so it was pretty fun to see those things come around and inspire me in the end. And then on outside Celtic genres, I've grown up with my dad's music of 80s, 70s, 80s music. So there's a lot of those methods that have come in. And on the other outskirts, in regard to parodies, I've one of my big idols is Weird Al Yankovic. So that's a very long stretch.
Yeah.
But I've been a longtime fan of his, and through him I've experienced more music through because he does a wide variety of different interacting with other genres, and then along his path I experienced like Alan Sherman, Alan Sherman, and Stan Freberg, and so on their parodies. But it's like I said, I always love to explore more, and after going through Berkeley, in Boston.
Where you graduated magna cum laude, right?
Magna cum laude, and my degree was professional music, but within that I interlocked the degrees of songwriting, music therapy, and music education, because I love to teach, and music therapy is what first got me into the harp in the first place. But songwriting, because I just love being inspired by all these different artists and all these different genres. They're just so magical, and I love the challenge to use a harp. So it's just
to write songs. Now, do you ever write songs on any other instrument, or just the harp?
I played the piano before I came to the harp, so I still have that. My first teacher, Rosie Kane, always tells me, like, use the piano when you start to write, because when you write with the harp, whatever harp you're using, whether you're using a lever harp, the levers are at the top. And when you're using a pedal harp, the pedals are at the bottom. But either way, what's in front of you first thing is the strings. And so if you write on the harp, most likely you're just going to stay in one key, especially when you're a beginner, because you're not going to think about the levers or the pedals and changing keys. When there's the piano, all the keys are right in front of you, and just press a key or you're in whatever you want. And so writing on the piano helps a lot for me to work on those transitions. So I can recognize, okay, this is where I can do a cadence here, and and change to another key here, and okay, this will be an easy change for me on the harp. And
Great.
but being able to explore more of the music through that.
Great. Well, we really enjoyed having you here today, and I know you have some more music to do. I want to make sure that people know that they can reach you on Facebook.
Yes, Facebook.
The Piper, the Pied Harpist.
The Pied Harpist, yeah.
And there's contact information on there, and email and all that, and so people can check you out that way, check out your music.
Yeah, certainly.
Now, is there any, besides what's on YouTube, is there any other recorded music at all, or is that something for the future?
That's something for the future, actually. I'm for the time being, I'm marketing myself as a harp teacher, because I'd love to. I've got three students so far. But they're all in the wiser, like continued learning, and so I've gotten a little bit of experience with the younger harpers. I've collected some smaller harps to interact, especially one small one that's only about an octave long, 8 strings. It's pretty cutie, but it helps to really interact with the kids. I'm trying to market myself as a harp teacher for all ages. And so you could reach me if you need anything. I rent harps as well.
You rent harps?
And sell harps for people who may be interested.
Cool.
And so that's what I'm working on right now. But I have a goal in 1 year, hopefully 1 year, to have a CD ready to sell.
Great.
So I have a bunch of recorded songs I've got like all hidden.
Okay. Well, I'm sure a lot of people will be looking forward to that CD.
I'm looking forward to that CD.
Well, let's hear some more music then.
Now I realize I have not introduced my second me. This is Hillary Chase. we attended high school together, and so we're both having a musical love, share of music. We connected for this. Voices together. So this next piece is in a fight. Acres of trees were at risk for the TGP pipeline, and this is my version of the fight. I wrote a song, this next piece, from the point of view of a tree in relationship to a person that lived nearby, a local person that loved the tree. And so those who don't understand the importance and or don't feel the spirit of nature are referred in this song as the strangers. So this was written, intended for multiple voices. It's written in the style of the Celtic world musician Anya. And so we'll do our best to work out on just two voices, but I hope you enjoy. This is Green Fingers. It's our last song. This piece was written years ago while I was attending classes at Greenfield Community College, GCC. And I wrote this song after what I experienced on my daily drive every day. So it calls to attention the importance of connecting with your community, the neighbors you don't know, and not to miss the chance to interact with humanity. This is in the memory of Richard A. Marble.
Fisherman's cap and a blue lawn chair, sits on the side of the road with our country's flag in one hand. People pass him by each day and he waves his flag at them. Some people honk at him and some just wave, and time ticks by, tick-tick-tock. To ask, but when I do, I'm always on my way. There is a man in the center of town who sits on a bench, walks on the side of the road, watches vehicles pass. People see him there each day and he watches the whole world like it's a movie show, his relaxed pose. And time ticks by, tick-tick-tock, tick-tick-tock, tick-tick-tock. And time ticks by, tick-tick-tock, tick-tick-tock, tick-tick-tock. I wonder how long he's been there, watching cars go by. I think to ask, but when I do, I'm always on my way. Was empty, a hole was in the picture. Does anybody care where he is? Does someone miss him anyway? And time ticks by, tick-tick-tock, tick-tick-tock, tick-tick-tock. And time ticks by, tick-tick-tock. I wonder how long he's been there, watching cars go by. I think to ask, but when I do, I'm always on my way. We wonder how long they've been there, watching life go by. We think to ask, but when we do,